Today I will show you one of the small size wood burning stove that I have in my house. I have one very large size in my kitchen, wood burning stove, and I have one small size wood burning stove in the living room. So I made a video about the large size one, which is Regency F3500, and if you haven't seen that video, please see that. And I will actually make another update video about providing some more details about that Regency F3500 wood burning stove, and we'll give you the comparison, some of the pro and con of these two sizes, and what you need to watch for when you are making decision in purchasing one. And of course you will decide on to buy, and it will be installed by installer, but the initial decision making that you have to make, and then you can actually talk to installer about installing. So the small size wood burning stove that I have, that is made by one of the Norwegian company named actually the name actually spelled Jotul, but it will be pronounced as a Jotul. So Jotul, that's the name of that maker of the small size. They have various size also. Similar to Regency, they will have an insert version that you can actually recess within that fireplace opening that you have, hearth opening. And I will explain you that why this small size wood burning stove was needed, and I will give you some details about that wood burning stove. So this is a small size freestanding Jotul unit, and the look is very little bit old-fashioned and a little bit rustic look, and most of their unit actually is pretty they have some modern design, but most of the Firebox that stove that they sell has a very traditional design in it. So I think that this stove really, the pattern that they have really goes nice with the older houses. So the reason this stove was installed by the former owner of this house, and originally anyone would think a large house that you would like to install a little bigger size, so you are actually have a larger space to heat up. And I can understand that what the problem was. The problem was that, as you can see, that after the white mantle area, the wood trimming of the mantle, that you have this black area that about 5-inch around it, 3 side, and then the actual hearth opening. So the older house, that most of the houses where the wood burning fireplace hearth was, it was about this size. And nowadays the wood burning fireplace that are installed in a modern constructions are much larger opening. And also older time, that if someone was building a very luxurious mansion or large house to start with, then they will probably have a little bit of a larger opening. But this house was a cottage, and then eventually it's evolved to 3 stages to become a larger house, a Victorian cottage type of house. So that's why the hearth opening is smaller. And I can kind of guess that the former owner had, when contacted the installer to install this, they did not have enough choice, because the usual that recessed in a existed fireplace that you will able to insert a sort of like a front flush cast iron made wood burning stove, so it's really flush to the mantle area, and it doesn't stick out. But there is no standard size to fit into this small area. So of course that was left with a free standing option. And also you couldn't have actually very large unit of the freestanding, because that will stick out too much, because as you see that in the back you have to connect that exhaust pipe, so there is some space taken. And also there is a door right here. If anything would stick out, it will stick out from this the protected area that you have, brick area. Beyond that, also you will have run into another issue that the based on the safety requirement, local installer would require certain inches of protected area from the any combustible material. So anything bigger would have actually faced that problem. So that's why I'm showing this small size, because if you already have a existed fireplace and you wanted to insert or convert that to a wood burning stove, you might have not that much choice. There will be some some changes that you really don't want it to make, and to make it difficult. So your choices will be limited. And then a small size wood burning stove probably would be the right size, instead of breaking and extending this front area. So that's why you would choose a small size. So that's explained that why small size is needed. And now I'll show you details about this unit. So I have opened the front door. As you can see, that's the area that you would put log. And actually the exhaust actually goes in the back. Is the connector. So that's why I had to come a little bit of a front. Otherwise, as you see, that there was enough space to actually go a little bit of in, but because of that space needed for that exhaust pipe connection, it had to come forward. So now I will talk about some of the good thing about the small size the wood burning stove. And even though small, they are made in a way that they are very efficient. Of course, this would not generate half of the heat that I generate from the other stove, or not even a 1/3 of it. But I will explain you when you buying the small unit, what you need to look for. So one of the things that when you buying wood burning stove is a matter of that is absorbing the heat from the wood you burning and radiate that heat. And if you have a very light structure, light metal plate, and light, you will not going to absorb the heat and to radiate. Most of the heat will be actually pass through the chimney and to the out, because it couldn't absorb. So this unit, as you see, that very thick cast iron form, that is not actually the metal plate. The other one, Regency, actually very thick metal plate. This is actually cast iron. So there's a loss of metal goes in. So that is the good thing. So always you can see that how heavy it is. Even the small, go for the heavy one, because that's where that all the heavy metal will absorb the heat and it would radiate. Other thing, I will show you the Regency one, is you see that there is no fire break. So this is because it's a very thick cast iron, it didn't need the brick. And because it doesn't have any brick, so inside the space is actually comparatively larger than unit that you will have a fire bricks, because if you're putting in a fire bricks in 3 side 2 inches of thickness, you're losing 4 inches in a width and 2 inches in the depth. So this Firebox comparatively is a larger box. So now this is a 16-inch log box. So you can pile up few logs 16-inch. So that would be an issue, because lots of places you buy the log from lumber sources, they usually comes like around 18-inch. So 16-inch would be a little bit of it that you have to be careful that when you're buying, and you have to buy 16-inch, otherwise that this log would not fit in there. So that is one of the drawback of a smaller size wood burning stove. Now, as you see that, I will show you that this is a no blower, is a pretty all mechanical, very heavy made. As you see that the door hinge, and this is a very thick, well made, thick metal, so there is no way you could break this one. So it'll be long lasting. And some of the door, the locking system is flimsy, so they will. And one of the things that I like, two actually things about like this stove compared to my Regency 3500 or other. You see that this is the vent right on the top for control the airflow, and that's where you control how much air, how slow you want to burn, and that is on the top. So my some of the wood burning stove will have a vent right there, and I will show you that my Regency 3500 has that. And it creates a problem because you are building up ash and logs, and you wouldn't have a very good airflow. So I'm not sure why the designer would really would put in there on the bottom, but this is they done in top. So excellent design choice. So that is something to think about it when you purchase or choose a model. And this is another thing. So lots of stove that you have to clean that every other day or 2-3 days. This is a small, so you probably have to clean that every other day. So here's the trick. So I'm going to scoop out, and there is like a 2.5 inch of like a ledge, and I have to scoop out. And guess this, I cleaned up. This is also the ledge you can take off, and it's very easy to clean, so you can clean. And this is, if I'm pulling out, you see that it comes out, so I can actually insert this and place this, and when I'm going to clean this, I can take out. So then I can take it in a brush and really clean it, not leaving any ashes there. So I think that this is an excellent design, that the way this company made. There might be other company also does. So I just wanted to let you know that how much I appreciate this design that they made for this this unit, Jotul. So other thing is that when you having a wood burning stove, you probably wanted to have some sort of I have here is that a fan, a little bit distance you want to. So you wanted to run this in a low speed to circulate. So you wanted to have that air sprayed out into the room, and that would be easier to heat up the entire room or next room. So here's the view after I totally cleaned the inside, all the ash. As you can see, I took off the front part, and actually what it is very easy. I could have actually hold a metal dustpan. You should always use metal things when you're cleaning ash, because you might have some charcoal left there, so don't try to it's safer to use the metal. So actually I could brush off remaining after scooping out, and even I could use this to scoop out a little bit. So it's very easy to clean this stove. So, and I will show you how I took it off. And here is the front ledge. I took that off also to make it nicer clean, and then I will put back this insert ledge. See, is ready for to put the new logs. And as I mentioned that it requires 16-inch logs. So usually if you buy supermarket or various places for a small amount of log, they are 16-inch, so they will perfectly fit in there, or they are probably 15-inch, so even 1 inch shorter. But if you are using constantly basis a wood burning stove of this size, 16-inch log, and you need to buy from a distributor that deliver you, or you can get large quantity of firewood. In that cases, you have to make sure that you don't buy anything bigger than 16-inch. You could get 16-inch, but not standard size. Standard size is about around 18-inch. So next step, I will put some logs and we'll start this fire, and I'll show you. Here you can see I already started the fire. So because it is the started fire, so I have a bunch of twigs in front, and I loosely packed, so I want the air to flow very well to get those two logs catch fire, and then I will actually pack more logs. So this is a small size wood burning stove that you can have when you have a issue with a space, and a insert version of the wood burning stove is not possible in the fireplace hearth that you have. So you could choose a small size. And for the size, this, even though a specification might tell you that this size of fireplace, it probably 900 to 1000 square feet, but I would say that about 500 feet would be the pretty good. You'll feel that very comfortable temperature. So that's mean that probably about 2 rooms or 3 rooms you can next to this room, another 2 rooms will be heated up by this radiated heat. As you see that the fire is catching, the 2 logs are catching fire. So as I mentioned that this former owner installed this unit, so they had done various work in the house, and always they chose the best option and most best quality items. So I am sure that this is based on the condition issue, space issue they had to install this small one, and this is a very good Jotul unit. So I would recommend to have it. And a small unit, beside you buying the log, I have a bunch of trees around, and I always have a drops of the tree branches, so I cut it this kind of like a small size to fit into it. So this is a one way to sort of burning large some of the branches that will drop from the tree around your property, and you could cut it, and this is one of the best way to actually use those stick to generate heat for your house and lower the electric bill or oil or gas bill. So thank you for watching. I'll post another video discussing a little more detail about the Regency F3500 large unit that I have. So please, if you have not subscribed my channel, kindly subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated, and watch those videos to get more information.